Hello again, this is Nanan and I'm here to review Ewok Village. And before I go on, I want to mention that you can see the parts review in a separate video. This is where I debox the set and go through the parts of the set bag by bag so you can hear my opinion on what I think about the contents of the set. And this is more for people who are interested in rebuilding things or sorting the parts into their own collection. So now then, without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to talking about the set. First off, I'd like to talk about the minifigures. So I'm gonna have to put a white screen here and go through them one by one. So here we have the generic Ewok warrior. This is an exclusive figure to this set, and he has never been seen in other sets before. So he's got an olive green hood. Next up we have, let's see, Wicket, and he is also a new minifigure to the set. Now Wicket was made before in Ewok Attack, I believe, and he does not have face paint. So now LEGO painted his eyes and his whiskers, so now we have a new minifigure. Okay, and this is Thibaut. He is also a new minifigure to this set. You can see his headdress right there, and some printing on him as well. Chief Chirpa is not a new minifigure to the set. He was released earlier, so now we see him again in Ewok Village. And same thing goes for this guy. Why is my camera out of focus? His name is Logray, and he is also not exclusive to this set. He's been released before. The Scout Trooper is a completely new figure to the set, and he's got new printing on his legs, most notably, and I figure that's going to make him quite a popular guy because, you know, everyone wants a few Scout Troopers in their collection of Imperial Army soldiers. The Stormtrooper is the same as the Stormtrooper found in the Endor Battle Pack, which is the one that includes a Stormtrooper, a Scout Trooper, and 2 of the Endor Rebels. So he is not new, and you get 2 of them in the set. And then Luke Skywalker, he is a new minifigure to this set because of the printing on him, and he's got a happy face on the back. The instructions told me to put him on his angry face, so that's what I did. And this is Princess Leia. She's a very unique figure to this set, and she's got the cloth that's used in one of the collectible series minifigures. I think it was a Hawaiian dancer or maybe the ice skater, but it's a cloth that you wrap around the legs, and then the minifigure's hair is actually rubber. It's actually not plastic, so you can kind of squeeze it around and test flexibility there. And of course the back, she does have an annoyed looking face. Okay, Han Solo, he is also new because of the torso printing and the back of he doesn't have a back. Alright, surprise. And then Chewbacca, he's been around forever. This is the same Chewbacca as we know and love. Well, maybe not so much because he only goes for $2 on Bricklink. There's not much love for Chewbacca among the buyers. And yeah, same old Chewbacca. And C-3PO, he is actually completely new. I believe the torso design is relatively new, but definitely the eyes are new to me because before LEGO did not print the eyes, but now they did. You can see the yellow circles there, so I'm happy for that. And there's the back. And R2-D2. This is R2-D2. The printing is the same from the previous versions, but the dome for the head is actually pearl light gray and not normal light gray. So you can make an argument that this isn't an exclusive set. We'll just have to see how the inventory from the set turns out to be. And you have 2 Endor Rebels. And this guy is found in the battle pack, and then this guy I haven't seen before. His face is new, but then his torso printing is not new. Alright, now that we're done with the minifigures, let's go ahead and talk about the set, and it is out of focus now. There we go. Okay. So let's talk about the smaller stuff first. This is obviously a speeder bike, and I don't know if this is the same design as the previous versions because I don't have one of the newer speeder bikes, but it's a decent design. It uses a motorcycle part as most of them do, and pretty solid. Nothing to complain about. And, you know, good for swooshing around, and we will come to see that in a little bit. Here we have a catapult, one of the many weapons that the Ewoks employ against the Imperial Army. And what's unique about this little guy is that he is actually has a spring mechanism, and it's not one of those things where you kind of tap the front to make it shoot, but it actually kind of push it down and then it kind of bounces back up. And the reason how it works is you see this piece right here. Let's see if it'll focus. It's a rubber piece that we have seen in some of the other Lego sets, and that kind of lets you compress down the catapult and shoot. So now you're probably curious on how well it shoots. So let's see if I can do a demonstration here. Okay, so you can see that it actually shoots from the ground up onto the second floor of the village. So not bad. Okay, now onto the main model, and there are lots of play features. I will go through them one by one, starting with the leftmost tower, and let's move it closer. Actually, no, let's just go ahead and go from here. So one of the cool things about this tower here is you can put a minifigure inside, and there's a mechanism on the back which you can pull, and then he will drop down through the hollow lock and slide out from underneath. And how that works is just a very simple sliding mechanism using this piece right here. I don't know if you can see it from the camera. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it. Good. So you just kind of pull it out, and then the trapdoor opens. So pretty straightforward. Alright, next up we have a lot of things actually. Where do I even begin? Let's go ahead and get rid of this part. The rope bridge is getting in my way, so I'm gonna take it out. And it's just snapped in by Technic pins, so pretty convenient there. Okay, so starting with this swinging net, there's a string you can pull in the back to raise it. And then you can just lower it by pulling on it. So it's actually one string piece. It's not one of the thin strings that you cut. It's actually a string with studs on two sides. So there you have it. And one cool thing about these towers is that they all spin. So you can manipulate it however you like to see your village to pan out. So. And every one of these tree trunks has a play feature. So with this one, you have a hidden, I guess, room, if you want to call it that. And you can see the stairs leading up to it. And inside the room, you can actually fit, I don't know how many minifigures you can fit. Unfortunately, you can only fit one minifigure, so that's not very nice, because Lego does have a sticker here, and two stickers actually, and with the heart. So I'm not sure what this writing inside says, but I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Han's and Leia's secret getaway. But unfortunately, they both can't fit in there. So it negates the purpose of this secret hideout. Now then, let's move on to the next trunk. We have a lever in the back that kind of pushes out the spider web. You can see it better here, and that kind of pushes it back in. So I guess if you want to play where the scout trooper is running through the forest, and then you can pull out the web and trap them. Again, that's kind of silly, but hey, you have a play feature. It's better than nothing. So again, this is a very simple mechanism. It's just a Technic pin on a hinge, so nothing too complicated here. And then in the back, we have the third play feature of the trunks, and this guy here opens up to review a hiding place for weapons such as a lightsaber. And again, as a Jedi, I don't know why I would want to hide a lightsaber in a tree trunk instead of carrying it on me, but hey, that's what Lego thinks is the thing to do. So there you have it. The tree trunk opens and you have a compartment for hiding things. Okay, so back to this side, we have one of the main features, which is the swinging hammers, which was featured in the movie. So you pull a pin here in the front, and the hammer is going to drop down. And then to reset it, you just kind of push the pin back and it automatically resets itself. So very cool, very handy, and you can just kind of hammer down on the Scout Trooper all you want. And the mechanism here, you can see it's self-explanatory. You have these pieces, which when they come out, it pushes the hammers back up, and then when you pull it out, the hammer is going to collapse back down. So very self-explanatory, but also very simple and effective. Here we have another catapult, and that's total for a total of 2 catapults, and then the ammo was right next to it. A small fireplace right here, and in the other tower we have a bed, a table, and then a second story with a sticker that goes on here. This is supposed to be the schematic for the Ewok hang glider. Okay, back to the front, we have details such as stairs right here, a drum set, and then also the iconic scene of the Ewok playing drums on the defeated Imperial Army helmets. So you can see the drumsticks are included. They're in a barrel here in the back. And then they also give you some of these pieces, which I'm not sure what they are for. There's actually a total of, I think at least 3 included in this set, which is very useful because I haven't seen them in brown before. I've seen them in light gray and gold, but not in brown. So this will be very nice for maybe building staffs or something else for your minifigures. Okay, and then back here we have the area where you can tie our heroes to when they were first encountered by the Ewok. So the string here wraps around the minifigure. You can see it here, and then they can just stand right there. I'm not going to demonstrate it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to point out that it is a feature that you can utilize. Here is a barbecue. You can put whoever you want on there. He will stay put very well, and then you can just kind of roast them away. And one thing I want to point out about the fireplace is actually got a very interesting construction design. So you can see that this piece that I mentioned about in my part review, the Technic brick with the 4 clips, it actually makes a pretty decent fire pit. So when you connect that to a pin, it actually it looks pretty cool. So and then in the back is the throne for the chief, and then of course you all know that, well, those of you who've seen Star Wars anyways, believe it or not, there actually are people who haven't seen Star Wars. So people who haven't seen Star Wars, this is the throne for C-3PO, so he sits on it, and then Luke makes him levitate, and then that kind of scares the Ewoks to convince the Ewoks that C-3PO is a god, and then they should listen to what he says. So the chair doesn't actually levitate, which is a disappointing feature, but it can easily be modified. And in the back, you can see how it's connected. It's connected by a transparent clear rod, which you can lift up and then kind of position it at a higher place so that the chair remains permanently levitated. But if you want to modify it, you can kind of put a headlight brick here, and then put a 1x2 Technic brick with a hole in there, and then replace this with a Technic rod, and then that'll let you push up and then push down and then make the chair go up and down. So just a simple mod that I can think of off the top of my head. In the back here we have a cauldron, and then some veggies, and then a storage room in the top with a bag and more vegetables. I guess the Ewoks really love their veggies. I haven't seen any turkeys or turkey legs used in this set, but I guess they're vegetarians. So, and so here's a pin in the front that you pull to make the hammers drop. And again, the towers turn, and I want to show you how they turn. This is pretty interesting. And I never knew that the octagon pieces can be connected onto the base of these 4x4 turntables to make them pivot. Before, I always thought that you can connect round bricks or round plates to them, but not this weird looking plate. And if you look at it, it actually has a groove here designed to connect to the turntable, so when you put it on there, it actually rotates. And in the parts review, I mentioned that it's got a lot of odd colored bricks, like red, yellow, and blue, for example, and they're actually more used for markings. You can see here is a bit of red exposed, and that's actually to help you guide building when you're constructing this. So you have the tree trunk, which is like the red tree trunk, and then they have some red pieces on top to guide you to connect to the red portion of the platform. So that's what the odd colored pieces are. And when you take it off here, you can see this section is the yellow section, and this right here is blue, so I'm not gonna take it off there. Okay, and the connections are by these hinges instead of studs. And so you build, 3 of these guys first, and then you build the middle platform, and then on top of that you build the details. And these guys are actually not connected to the base at all. They're just kind of sitting on there. But when you do lift up the whole set, it comes up, so you don't have to kind of separately pick it up, which I thought is nice. And one cool thing about this is staggering of the mushrooms. Unfortunately, not all the mushrooms are printed, but I do like this technique where you can stagger the mushrooms so that they look more clustered together, and that's a very useful technique. I haven't seen it used much by castle builders or other landscape builders, but it's a very simple but effective look to having your fungi sprout up. Okay, anything else that I missed? I do like the entrance ways. They're all uniform, and they have the 2 leaves that are plugged onto there, and it's just kind of straight, simple connection onto a 2x2 plate with 1 stud and top of a hinge brick. So that's a very simple technique. And then you obviously have the tilted torches, and the Ewoks definitely like their fire. They have fire going on here everywhere. Maybe, I'm not sure, that's not very friendly for their wooden based housing. Surprised nothing has burned down yet, but I guess that's how they roll. So okay, here is the rope bridge. When you lay it out flat, it's very unimpressive, but when you have it slanted at an angle, it does work. So there is the review, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks for watching. Okay, see you guys next time.